Alright guys, it's the first night shift ever, and we're coming into the hospital at like 9:30 p.m. Night shift starts at 10 p.m, so we're gonna chill in the mess and then head into A&E and see what happens. Obviously, I can't film any actual patients because that's not legit, but I hope I might be able to find a quiet moment in between patients to talk about what I've seen. Alright, so we are 4.5 hours into the night shift. It's about 2:30 in the morning and I've seen 4 patients, mostly by myself. So what I did was I brought them in from the waiting room, took the history, did an examination, and then presented the case to one of the doctors. And then the doctor saw the patient and just made sure everything was legit. So I saw a guy with chest pain. It sounded musculoskeletal, but obviously anytime someone comes into the emergency department with chest pain, you're worried about some kind of cardiac cause. So that was just about taking a history, trying to rule out all of the sinister things, like, you know, a heart attack or a pulmonary embolism or other bad things that can cause chest pain. If someone does come in with chest pain, they get what's called a troponin blood test. So this guy had his troponin, because a rise in troponin equals probably a myocardial infarction, which is obviously a bad thing. There was another lady who had come in with some kind of like pain around the face, which was probably going to be a dental abscess. I thought it was sinusitis, but then the doctor said that if you look in the mouth and see that they've got like missing teeth or bad teeth, then it's probably a dental abscess, so we referred her to the dentist. Then there was this other patient who just came in like super confused and didn't really know what was going on, probably secondary to some kind of chest infection or water infection. So I took a history from him. That was a bit tricky because he didn't really know what was going on. He was a bit disorientated in time, place and person. And then finally there was a patient who'd come in having had a seizure. So that was quite an interesting history to take. Anytime you're talking to someone who's had a seizure, you've got to find out what happened before, what happened during, what happened afterwards. And it was lucky that this person had someone with them at the time who witnessed the seizure. So that was quite good in terms of really kind of honing down on the questions that you ask in a seizure history. And then we ended up just sending them home because in A&E you can't really do much about a seizure. They're going to get referred to neurology and the neurologist will take things from there. So overall, we're about halfway through the shift. It's been quite fun. The nurses have been super nice. The doctors have been super nice. It seems like quite a nice atmosphere, especially at night time. There's not many patients around. There's not many staff around. And it feels quite camaraderie-like. So I'm really enjoying it so far. Stopping off in the mess for a 10-minute coffee break and then going to get back in there for another 5 hours or so of night shift in A&E. See you in a bit. A lady came into resus from the ambulance, and by the time she got in, she was very pale, was barely conscious. We got her into resus, started putting cannulas in her, and then her heart stopped beating. So we put out the arrest call, loads of people piled into the room. I managed to put a cannula in, which was then used to give fluids. But then I very much took a backseat as the whole machinery of the resus team kicked in. The anaesthetist was there managing the airway. There were loads of people bringing drugs, gathering fluids, putting fluids up. We even started CPR, so we did 2 rounds of CPR. There was a return to spontaneous circulation, i.e. the patient got a pulse back. Apparently it's fairly common for a cardiac arrest patient to rally, as it were, where the body just throws everything into this last-ditch effort for survival. She had a pulse for a while. And they were injecting adrenaline, injecting loads of things, doing loads of blood gases, and seeing the results go more and more bad. She was becoming more and more acidotic. Her lactate was going up through the roof. Hemoglobin was going down. She was reliant on the adrenaline to maintain circulation. And eventually the team decided unanimously that actually, even if by some miracle we could get the circulation back, she would probably have permanent brain damage. So time of death was called. And I'm not really sure how to feel about it, but I'm sure when I get home at some point it'll hit me. I suppose that's part of being in hospital.